Okay, so initially this is the way I structured it. So I looked at basically trying to address the goals, and then from the goals I basically intended to at least address the issues that they're looking to address, and that is basically to improve business processes and as well as enhancing customer and employee experience, and then increase sales volume. Of course, these are some of the challenges. Of course, automation and then apps and then report challenge. So my intention is basically to address the report challenge, and that is what I have managed to at least produce. Of course, in terms of solution, that's where now I'm going to take you to the actual report that I developed in Power BI. Now, just to preface my Power BI presentation or the Power BI report that I managed to at least work on and produce, I looked at not necessarily the Contoso data. I basically utilized the data from the sample data for Superstore, primarily because I could not download the recent data that was suggested during the meeting, and I already had the sample from Superstore. So in terms of looking at sales as well as the returns, I basically looked at them in terms of sales by category instead of sales by store. So category became my other comparative part of it. So let me go to the actual report that I developed, and if I can. So in terms of addressing the sales, I basically summed up sales. Of course, I went first of all to reach this level. I went to obtain data, basically getting data, and then I got data from Excel because I already had the sample Superstore data, so I obtained that data. After obtaining data, it took me to these to these categories. So there was this category for orders, and then category for people, as well as category for returns. Now, in terms of trying to produce these, I went to the visualization. So I opened this first, and then I went to visualization to get the card. So I could introduce a card, for example, like this. Of course, I'm going to remove it. Introduce a card, and then you went to sales, and then clicked sales. So it gave me my amount there. So to remove this amount, I was able to go to different area to at least so that I could get I could minimize, or I could take this into millions rather than millions with this. So I'll remove the decimals and so forth. So that's basically what I did to get that. But I'll remove it so that way I have the original one opening. Okay. So the same thing with quantity. So quantity, I was able to go to here and then obtained quantity. I was able to obtain quantity, and then after that, I also did the same thing with profits. Yeah, so I was able to go to quantity, and then I was also able to go to. I was doing the same thing because I repeated this whole process. So I was able to obtain that, and then I was basically utilizing the card. And then after that, for returns, that's where I had problems with this sample Superstore data. I was able to get these two columns, but it did not have the summation. So because it did not have the summation, I did not know how much returns were there. So what I did was I went to YouTube and of course still searched to find how I could at least write a certain, not write, but at least to find how I can sum what is in here. So I clicked on the information I got. I clicked on the first column, and then let me do it maybe somewhere here so that you can see. So I clicked column and then went to new measure, and then it produced. Okay. Yes, so it produced this kind of I would say formula, and then I looked to find exactly what would be in the measure to at least have a specific count. So I put the count, and then it produced the 297. So that was what I discovered while I was trying to do it, and so forth. So basically, that's what I did with the returns here. And then so I got that. But now, so in terms of producing the different, visuals, so I basically utilized this one to see, the categories of the cells. So this one was basically intended to make sure that I am able to demonstrate to you guys exactly what can be done to show the categories, whether, for example, it's, by store. If it was by store, then it would be, one section, maybe store number 1, and then another section, store number 2, to see how many sales are there by specific store. So instead of doing that, since I did not have the demarcated stores in this case, I basically went on to basically utilize category. So there were 3 categories of the sales. So we have office supplies, technology, and furniture. So because we have office supply, technology, and furniture, so I went to category. No, first of all, I went to the donut chart. So it gave me that. And then I went to category and then selected sales. So that's what it produced. And then I played a little bit with colors to, to make it look a little bit nicer. So I was able to change here and there in terms of the colors. I think I was not here. So I was able to do this to make colors and so forth. And then I ran a return, to see the percentage of returns, so that way they can make informed opinion about, what are the products that are being returned for the most part. But I found it was basically 33% for each category here. So technology had returns of 33%, office supplies 33%, and then furniture 33%. So I said, I'm not going to show that, but I was able to show the sales by profit. So that's basically what I've managed to at least demonstrate. So in this case, there is technology. This is the amount of profit. This is the total sales for furniture and profit and so forth. Thank you so much.